Good afternoon, everyone. It's just turned 12:30, and you know what that means. It is time for the best show ever in the world, ever, not the evening news. And the reason it's called Not the Evening News is because it's not the evening, but it is the news. So it makes sense when you think about it, really. How I come up with these genius ideas is beyond my comprehension. My genius knows no bounds. So here we go. We have farmers in the Midlands have blocked distribution depots this morning, including Tesco's and Sainsbury's. Obviously, this is over pay. They are annoyed. They are frustrated about how much they're getting paid from distributors, from Tesco, Sainsbury's, basically stores like grocery stores. They are annoyed at how much they're getting paid from them. And they're not having it anymore. I don't blame them. I really don't. Especially with this inheritance tax that the dumb government have put on them. It's just not a viable business anymore. No one, if anyone wants to be a farmer nowadays, the people are just saying to them, don't bother, yeah, you've got to feed the nation, but it doesn't pay to feed the nation. So who's going to do it? What they're going to end up doing is we're going to be dependent on other countries for food, and you better hope that we never go to war or have disagreements with those countries that will basically be feeding us, because they'll just stop. It's another way of becoming a reliant country on other countries. It's exactly the same as if China said, right, we're not going to we're not going to make mobile phones anymore. We're not going to make TVs anymore. We're not going to make any of these things anymore that we rely on China to make. The whole industry crashes. There's no secondary business, that's waiting for that to happen. It would literally just be for a good couple of years until we get something set up locally. There would be no more mobile phones being made in the West anyway. So you can consider that exactly the same for food, basically. And it's going to happen. It's one of these things. I mean, this is happening all across Europe as well. So if they're doing this all across Europe, where is our food going to be coming from? Absolutely insane. We have the first. We have Ed Davey, who has said, and I quote, "First Venezuela, next Greenland. You don't suck up to bullies like Trump. He will just see it as a sign of weakness. Keir Starmer needs to get on the phone to the European allies, including the Danish Prime Minister, and show a united front against Trump's threats. You do realize that Trump has freed the Venezuelan people from a tyrant. That's basically, here's what happened with Venezuela. Okay, this is what happened. Venezuela had an unelected tyrant that basically put himself in power. Yeah. And then he just started nuking America with drugs, just sending drugs across to America and just getting everyone high. And just, he's basically a criminal warlord. So Trump, I remember the video that went out. Trump said, you need to stop this now or we're going to have to come and sort you out. And the Venezuelan prime minister or president, whatever he is, or whatever he was, I can't remember his name. He then sent out a video saying, here I am, come and get me. America ain't got shit on me. And Trump just said, okay then, yeah, and went and got him. And it was perfect. It was a perfect operation. Well done, Trump. Well done to the US Army. It was textbook, beautiful mission. And he's absolutely shown Venezuela up. And the Venezuelan people are over the moon. They are so happy right now. They could not. They think this is absolutely spot on. The Venezuelan people are out on the streets. They're going to the pub. They're going to off licenses, getting crates of beer. They're necking them in the streets, handing them around to their mates. They're absolutely loving it. The only people that are unhappy about this is the left. And the only reason they're unhappy about it is because they can't. They can't, for once, they can't bring themselves to say, okay, Trump did something good. Trump actually did a really good thing there. I guarantee you, if Keir Starmer had done what Trump done and went into Venezuela and said, look, this is an unelected government, we're basically going to put a stop to it, and we'll put somebody in place that is an elected government, or somebody in place temporarily that will run the government properly without selling drugs and all things like that. So it's one of those things that that the left just cannot bring themselves to say, well done. And I've heard that the BBC News, actually, I'm going to look into this whilst I'm filming today. I'll go on to the BBC website, because apparently they aren't showing any footage whatsoever of the Venezuelans out in the street celebrating. They're just refusing to report on it. Now, I'm not surprised by this, obviously, because this is the BBC. And they're not really known for being factual these days. They are quite a biased news station. So again, one of those things, I don't really care, to be honest, because the BBC, I know they're a joke. I know they're absolutely useless. So it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Another thing that they absolutely refuse to report on is the Iranians, the Persians, taking back control of their country from the Iranian Islamic regime that put themselves into power. I believe it was 1974. Don't quote me on that, though, but I think it was 1974 that the Islamic takeover of Iran actually sort of came into fruition and became sort of public knowledge, and they actually became, a government. But that's ending now, thanks to Israel. It's coming to an end. I think there's quite a few countries now over the next year, maybe, that are just going to be liberated. That are just going to have other countries that are just going to say, do you know what? We've got the technology now, we've got the power now, to actually just say, we're just going to free you of your tyrant governments. That's what's happening in Venezuela now. That's what's happening in Iran now. And I've got to say, I love to see it personally. Again, the only people that don't like this are the left, because they just can't admit when they're wrong. They can't admit when they've made a mistake. So we've got the Islamic regime forces are shooting unarmed anti-regime protesters in Iran. So we'll get back to Iran now. So if you're unaware, the Trump said, this was like, I don't know, a week ago, to maybe 2 weeks ago. Trump said, if the Iranian government, the IRGC, if the Iranian army, if the Iranian police or anything like that, if they start if they open fire on any of the Iranian citizens at all, if they shoot even one, Trump has said he's going to go in there and basically rip them out of power, same as what he's done with Venezuela. Just go in there, absolutely destroy them, and give the people their country back. And it looks as if, I'm looking at a video sitting here right now. It looks as if the Iranian, I'm not sure whether it's the IRGC. It could be the RGC, but it looks as if they are shooting unarmed anti-regime protesters. It does look like they are, using weapons provided by the Iranian people against the Iranian people, which you really shouldn't do. It'd be like the British Army being called in, and then using their weapons against the British people, which we'd like to think would never happen. But I don't know. These days, anything can happen. It's a crazy world we live in now. I'm sure at some point during 2020 or 2019, we fell into another universe or something, a parallel universe where everything's just batshit crazy. And I mean, I don't mind it because it's getting so ridiculous where you're not surprised by anything that happens. I could wake up tomorrow morning and London could be under Islamic terrorist taken control of London, and I'd just wake up and go, yeah, all right, whatever. It's just, okay. I'll sort of, yeah, I'll accept that because it wouldn't surprise me if it happened. Okay, we've got an illegal migrant who targeted British kids was jailed for 1 year, but 3 British men protesting his action were jailed for up to 2 years, 4 months. So that is British life today. 2026 just started, and it's just going to be as much of a shit show as last year, isn't it? You've got an illegal migrant who has done god awful things to British kids, being jailed for 1 year. But if you speak about it, if you say that you're mad about it, you get up to 2 years for speaking about it. That's insanity. But again, we've come to expect that in Britain, haven't we? I don't think anyone's surprised by that. It's just one of those things that you just accept, and just sort of say, yeah, that's Britain at the minute. You can go out and touch a kid and be out, the same time next year, probably sooner than that, actually, on good behavior or something. But if you talk about that guy that's done that, you are in trouble. Okay, we've got the left wing media has just. My laptop's being a bugger. Where is it? It's just taken me to the top of the page again. Where are we? The left wing media has just caught. Why are you doing that? It keeps taking me to the top. The left wing media has just been caught refusing to cover the fact tens of thousands of Venezuelans are celebrating Donald Trump's victory over Maduro in Buenos Aires. They won't show it. Again, I was talking about this earlier. The left-wing media, they can't. They've backed themselves into a corner. They they can't say "great job, Trump." They can't say "great job, Israel," for attacking Iran many months ago. They can't say that because obviously they've been supporting the opposition. They've been supporting the bad guys all this time. And if they wake up today and realize, damn, if they realize that we've been supporting the wrong guys, the terrorists, so to speak, then they would have to wake up and just say, okay, we were wrong. They cannot do that. They absolutely will not do that. And it's the same with the BBC, because of all the propaganda and everything that they've put out there. They can't go back on that and say, well, we were wrong. They can't just change their narrative, because they'd have to acknowledge that what they've put out previously is utter nonsense. So, again, the left have really backed themselves into a corner here. I think you're going to see, like we saw at the end of 2025, I think you're going to see many left-wing accounts that will get abandoned or just deleted, and then those people will come back onto X, YouTube, and TikTok and stuff as a right-wing account, and sort of say, oh yeah, I've been supporting the home team all along. I've been supporting the right guys all this time. And you see it genuinely. You see it all the time. Yeah. And you just one of those things where you've just got to learn to sort of say, okay, righto. So, taxpayer cash funds Decolonise Fest that bans white people from attending. That's good and accepting, isn't it? That's a lovely, tolerant festival there. The Arts Council, funded by your hard-earned taxes, has handed over thousands to a festival that openly excludes white British people. Labour's Britain: more taxes, more migrants, more anti-white madness. The woke elite hate you and your history. Yeah, that is absolutely correct. I mean, we didn't. Well, we did, I guess, colonize the world, but we made the world a better place, us Brits, back in the day when we actually had some power. We made the world a better place. We brought many countries democracy, among other things, technology. Yeah, because we were basically the forefront of the world, of the modern world. But we are nothing nowadays. We are absolutely nothing. So I am just switching over to. I'm just switching over to another news outlet because all of my sort of pinned stories that I've selected on my X account, I've gone through them now. I'm being more selective this year on the stories that I go with, rather than sort of going for everything that I like that usually takes up more than an hour. I'm going to be making sure that I'm under that hour mark, So my laptop again is just having a nightmare, just an absolute nightmare of a time. Keir Starmer takes Brexit battle to Nigel Farage as strategists urge PM to target reform weak spot. So Keir Starmer is doing, again, Keir Starmer, he doesn't get it. He is doing wonders for Nigel Farage right now. He is doing wonders for reform, because he's acknowledging daily that reform are the party that he has to beat. I believe he said a couple of days ago that it would be he would be up for a coalition between the Greens, your party, and Labour to take down reform. Well, if you need all of that to take down reform, and to be fair, it's still not going to work. You've got some real problems, man. You are not the party of the people that you think you are. That's just absolute insanity. But I mean, that is Keir Starmer. He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand that he's doing his opposition a favour. He's an absolute moron. He's a weak man, and it's frankly embarrassing to have him as a leader of our country. So, what can you do? Drivers are to see more traffic cameras installed on busy roads as motorists risk £500, £550 fine. So again, this is an attack on the motorists of Britain, as I'm sure you all know. If you've got an EV now, a lot of people are going to be putting those up for a sale at the end of 2027 because the 3 pence per mile rubbish is going to be coming in, and people just aren't going to want to pay it. So what you're going to find at the end of 2027, start of 2028, you're going to have so many electric vehicles, hybrids likely as well, because they're going to be charged 1.5 pence per mile, and you're just going to see the market absolutely flooded with these cars that nobody's going to want. And you're going to see a big surge in price of your internal combustion engine motors. So if you've got an internal combustion engine car right now, keep hold of it. Keep hold of it until 2027, until this time next year, basically. And you'll find that throughout 27, maybe even throughout 26 as well, you'll find that that car is going to go up in value, and it is going to be beautiful. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be so, so funny. And I, for one, I'm glad it's happening, because it's one of those things that you knew it was coming. You knew it was going to happen. And then when it comes into fruition, you just laugh your ass off. Rachel Reeves is accused of turning UK economy into a zombie apocalypse as tax raids kick in. Yeah, again, you've got so many companies this year that are now openly speaking about this. It's no secret anymore. All these companies, I believe, Poundland is one that's announced a load of closures in 2026. Primark, I believe they've just announced that they're going to be closing a load of stores in 2026, and it's the same everywhere. I don't think anywhere is opening new stores, new branches. Everywhere is downsizing now because of the taxes that Rachel Reeves has put onto these companies, and yeah, that it's again, it's if you didn't see it coming, honestly, get your head examined. Because it was so obvious. It was obvious all along that this was going to happen. So a fake admiral pleads guilty of attending ceremony on Remembrance Sunday dressed in Navy uniform. Okay, any other time of the year, any other year, any other time throughout history, I'd be outraged at this. You shouldn't steal valor from real army or navy heroes. But this year, I don't care. I don't care because there's so many worse things going on in Britain. There's so much worse things that are happening, that people are doing in Britain, that this, to be honest, is just, it's really down there on my list of shit show Britain things that have happened. So I'm just not bothered by that, to be honest. Again, any other year, I'd probably be a little bit outraged. It's a bit disrespectful and shouldn't happen. But yeah, this year, who gives a shit? So a suspect has been arrested after windows smashed at JD Vance's home. Wow. So JD Vance, who is quite right-leaning, so he's quite right-wing. Obviously, he's in with the Trump lot and Elon Musk and everything. So I'd imagine this is a lefty that's done this. We all know they are hitting new heights of crazy. And yeah, I'm I'm surprised it's actually only a window smashed. It wouldn't surprise me if they're not giving you the full story there, that a window was smashed, they got into JD Vance's property and were, maybe looking for him to do some damage to him. That's what that sounds like to me. But the only thing that they can prove, the only thing that they can play it down to, the only thing that's there's physical evidence of, is that they smashed a window. I would keep an eye on that story, actually, if that's something that you're interested in with JD Vance, because I don't think that's the full story. I don't think that a lefty just went to JD Vance's property just to smash a window. No, I don't think that's what their intention was. I think their intended for him to be home, maybe for his wife or kids or something to be home. And I think they intended to do it to do more damage. But that's just me spitballing. That's just me, just using the old noggin. Hundreds of schools across Britain have closed. have closed due to snow. Really? Really? Hundreds of schools. I mean, I've got snow where I'm from, but it's it's not bad snow, you know. It's not like sloshy, horrible ice snow that's melted away and then solidified again. You know how bad it gets. I agree. Okay, I agree. I'm not playing down that Britain, when it comes to snow, when it comes to ice, Britain is pretty bad for that generally. And it damages our roads and it can be really icy for not only cars, but pedestrians and everything. But, but the snow that we've had so far, I mean, I'm looking out my window right now and I've got to say, no, it's not that bad kind of snow that's melted a little bit and then frozen over and become like ice pads or anything like that, or black ice. It's nothing like that. So I think this might be a little bit of an overstep. You know, I think this might be a little bit of just it. You don't need to do it, do you? You just don't. It doesn't need to. It doesn't need to happen. But I mean, this is England, I guess. Yeah, sort of. If you're going to close schools due to this a little amount of snow, then sort of it is what it is. You know. Fuck it. You've got. We've got. That's all from there, really. They haven't really given us a lot to work with, have they? That's logged out. So screw that. Right, we are on. I'm checking another news source right now. I would tell you what sources I used, but then you would just go and read them, wouldn't you, rather than listening to me. I'd like to think I provide a little something, you know, a little humour with the absolutely ridiculous news that we have nowadays. Just absolute joke this country is. Somebody's, I don't know what all this co-host stuff is, by the way. Somebody wants to co-host with me. I don't know what that is. Whatever. Former Labour MC says democracy is at stake in call for royal commission into Bondi terror attack. Open letter to Anthony Albanese from pro-Israel group says only Commonwealth inquiry can unpack dynamics of Jew hatred. A coalition of Labour Party affiliates have backed calls for the Prime Minister to establish a federal royal commission into anti-Semitism events that led to and enabled the Bondi terrorist attack. Okay, I can help you out there. I absolutely can help you out there. The left and Muslims, they've teamed up together, and they hate Jews now. I mean, the Muslims, I can understand. They've always hated Jews. They've made no secret of it. They've always hated them. But the left, obviously, they've now joined the Muslims, and now they're all one big happy family. And now the left are happy to go along with them and say, hey, we hate the Jews too. And that's all there is to it. And because a lot of countries, just like Britain, have allowed these Palestine marches and all this kind of crap to go ahead for so long, and they've had no repercussions, no actions taken against them, nothing like that. It's just one of those things where they've just kept going further and further and further and further, and yeah, they're out of control now. They're completely out of control now. Again, look what happened to Charlie Kirk, man. I'll drink to Charlie Kirk, because it absolutely shouldn't have happened. But again, if you let people get away with that kind of thing for so long, they'll push it further and further and further until somebody does something like what happened to Charlie Kirk. And if you think that this is the end of it, if you think that they're all going to quiet down now, then you are absolutely nuts, because they're not going to. because they still believe, well, they still do really have free reign to do absolutely anything they want. The Palestine marches are still going ahead, and it is what it is. It's when a kid misbehaves and you don't punish that kid, you don't discipline that child, and then you wonder why that child does the exact same thing again 20 minutes later. You're a moron, and that's what the left are like. They have to be disciplined, but no one's disciplined them. So we're in the situation that we are now. There you go. Shamima Begum must never be allowed to return to Britain. Who's this saying this? This is the Tories saying this. The Tories are warning that after Isis Bride was given renewed hope by ECHR. I believe she'll get back in, this Shamima Begum. I can remember when she went across to the Islamic State, to ISIS. I think she was about 15 when she did that. God knows how old I was. I was probably the same age, to be honest. But you don't. A lot of people say, well, she was young and she didn't know what she was doing and blah blah blah. No, when you're young, you make mistakes like, I don't know, sleeping with somebody that you shouldn't. You make mistakes like failing a test. You make mistakes like going out to a party when you shouldn't have gone to a party. You don't make mistakes like going across to Iraq and joining ISIS. And I believe since she's had 2 children, I believe it is. I think she's been married once, maybe twice, and she's had 2 children, both unfortunately, and no one should have to go through it, but both have unfortunately died. And obviously now she wants to come back to Britain, or she has wanted to for quite a few years now, because she realised what a mistake she's made. And no, absolutely not. You can't. You you can't. If they'd have said, you can't join ISIS unless you do a terrorist attack in Britain, I'm sure she would have done that. She would have been up for that, and she would have, performed some atrocity in Britain, and then gone across anyway. And if you let her back into the country, again, it sends a message to other people in the country that are promoting Islamic State, that are extremists. It sends them a message that they can pretty much do what they want, and they'll still be allowed back into the country. They'll still be given refuge and everything, which they absolutely shouldn't be. Own your mistakes, live by them, and pay for them. You don't commit a crime and then say, well, I'm really sorry, you just let me off. And no, you got to pay for it. And her mistake was that bad, was that major, that she has no British citizenship anymore. Quite rightly so. So well done. But yeah, I'm sure she will get back into the country, because we do have a very just weak government, and we are a weak country now. Phones to be seized from illegal migrants who arrive in the UK amid crackdown on traffickers. I thought that was policy anyway. If somebody comes across illegally to Britain, I would like to think that their phones are seized immediately, and everything on that phone is checked and double checked and triple checked for, I don't know, any terrorist organization, any criminal activity, any news on the people smuggling gangs, right, Keir Starmer? I would have liked to have thought that all this time, if somebody does illegally come into the country with a mobile phone, that we have been taking those mobile phones from them and going through them thoroughly. Apparently not. Apparently we've not been doing that. Apparently we've just been letting them come into the country with their mobile phones. Fair enough. And it's only now in 2026 that we're saying, now we want to look through your phones and see what criminal activity that you've been getting up to. Fair enough. fair enough. Okay. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's so sad, isn't it? Okay. So 1 in 4 entrepreneurs and companies are fleeing Britain. 1 in 4. That's pretty low, actually. I honestly would have thought that'd be much, much higher. I honestly thought it'd be like half the entrepreneurs and companies that currently exist in Britain. I would have thought it'd at least be half of them that are saying screw Britain and just getting out, moving to another country, setting up a company elsewhere. But apparently not. 1 in 4, only a quarter of people are doing that. Yeah. Okay. So what else have we got? Let's take a. I'll tell you what. Let's take a look on Reuters, right? Because I've recently downloaded Reuters, and a load of people have obviously been saying to me, it's this massive lefty news channel, and I do have a couple of lefty mates that have recommended this to me. So let's have a look of their reporting of different things that are going on in the world. Okay, so Venezuela's Maduro due in US court, substitute leader softens stance. Venezuela's deposed leader Nicolas Maduro is due in a New York court to face drug charges, while the UN, United Nations, will scrutinize the legality of President Trump's extraordinary operation to capture him. So why is the UN going to scrutinize President Trump for his operation? He's freed a hell of a lot of people from tyranny. Is this a case of just the UN being pussies and saying, you shouldn't have done it, it's not really right? Fuck off. That's what I say. Greenland says no more fantasies about annexation after Trump remarks. As far as I know, Trump hasn't made any remarks about. I think it's Colombia that Trump has been making remarks about, and that's for the exact same reason for that he's gone into Venezuela. So I've not seen anything about that. And this is Reuters that I'm on, so I will take that with a pinch of salt. I've not seen that on any other news site. So, yeah. UK consumer borrowing rises by most since November 2023. Yeah, again, who's surprised by that? It's to be expected. It's one of those things. Okay, I thought Reuters would have been a lot more left leaning than what it actually was. Let's hop back onto. I'll tell you what. Let's jump onto X, because they are officially the #1 news source for Britain now, aren't they? Well done to them. Well done to them. And I wholeheartedly agree. You don't get any you don't get news outlets reporting on news as effectively as what you do on X. It's incredible. And 9 times out of 10, the mainstream media are so late to the show of of news and reporting on it that everyone already knows about it anyway. It's I can read about a story on Monday. I can find out about something today, and then go on to BBC News website on Wednesday, and they'll probably have just picked it up. And 90% of what they say anyway will be absolute nonsense, just bollocks. So we're back on the X. There was a video actually that I saw earlier that I wanted to comment on, and it was a video that the left were sharing of a British citizen that was stealing a load of stuff from, I believe it was Sainsbury's. And they were stealing a load of stuff from Sainsbury's. And the security guard in Sainsbury's was a foreigner. And they were trying to stop the British person from stealing a load of stuff. And the left were saying, "Oh, look at this, British people are scum, and the foreigners are, doing their due diligence and really helping out Britain by catching the British scum that is stealing all this stuff." And it just makes you think, like, how many times have you seen that the other way around? How many times has that happened? There's bound to be some British people now that are going to think, and again, I've said this a long time ago. There are going to be British people now that just think, well, if the foreigners are doing it and they're getting away with it, then why can't I do it? And they're going to start doing it as well. Yeah. It's an imported criminal activity now that never used to be widespread in Britain. I mean, we've always had like honesty boxes. When I was growing up, I grew up in the countryside. Always had honesty boxes. Where I live now, we have honesty boxes, and now that the invaders are coming up to my area, now those honesty boxes are in danger of just being completely wiped out. And again, I'm sure to begin with, it will just be the invaders that will ruin honesty boxes. But over time, you will get British people, teenagers, people that will just get pissed off, and they'll start doing it themselves too. Again, it's going to be an imported, invader-driven crime that British people will latch onto and do themselves. Because why would you want to let foreigners get away with something that you can do too? It's absolutely, yeah. It just makes sense, doesn't it? If you go to a country, if I went to the city and everyone around me was just robbing shit, yeah, I'd go and do it myself as well. Like, why wouldn't I? Ask yourself that. Why wouldn't I? There are, do you know what? There are so many videos on X of places just getting robbed. Just places just getting, and I don't mean just like somebody going around a couple of cans of beer or something in their pocket. I don't mean somebody stealing a toothbrush or I don't know, some deodorant or something like that. It is proper organized theft where they've gone out and probably robbed like a rucksack or something, just sweep a load of stuff off the shelves into those bags and then just walk out with it. Some of them must get away with thousands in costs of things that they've stolen. What else have we got? I hope everyone had a good Christmas, by the way. For me, I this year sort of felt a bit, I don't know, just a bit uneasy, a bit unnatural. I don't know what it was, to be perfectly honest with you. But it just felt, there just something was off. You know, I had a good Christmas with family and everything, and we really cut down on spending this year, purely because I just didn't want to spend a whole load of money. I didn't want to contribute to Keir Starmer's Britain. Yeah, so I just said to my missus, whatever we get, obviously I'll just go halves with you on the presents for my stepkids, her kids, and did it that way. And by the way, I got I'm not sure, but I think I got ripped off with a gift as well. I was on TikTok and I saw those. I'll have to get that in. Like that. It's big. The bigger than that. The remote control cars. They look really big. Yeah, they look really big. The petrol remote control cars. And I clicked on it. It was on TikTok. I clicked on it and thought, you know what? I'll get one of them, one each for my stepsons. And I thought that'd be fun. And I got a confirmation email from the company. It was a third-party company from TikTok, so I'm not slating TikTok here. Definitely not slating TikTok. It was a third-party company that was advertising on TikTok. I clicked on it, went onto it. I bought two, and it came up. Well, if you buy two, you get two free. So I was like, oh, great, marvelous. So I should have had 4 remote control petrol cars come through, and they were beasts. They were big things. And I got a confirmation email, and I've just heard nothing since. That was it. That's all. That's all I've heard. And I personally, I don't think they're going to come. I can't see it happening. I think I've been scammed. I think they've gotten that money out of me, and that'll be the last time I ever buy anything from a third party company or seller on TikTok, unless if it stays within the TikTok app, I will continue to buy stuff off of TikTok. But if I click on something and it takes me to a third party site, then I'm not going to do it. No, thank you. Because I believe that I've been ripped off with that. But I mean, I'll keep you updated, because if it turns up, I'll be so surprised, and it'll be a pleasant surprise. But I can't see it happening. What can you do? So I'm not gonna report the company to TikTok yet, because I'd imagine it's one of these things where they just delete that company name, delete that advert, and then go straight back on with a slightly different name and just do it that way. We all know there's companies out there that do that, just to rip people off again and again and again. So I'm hoping that I haven't been ripped off, but I think I have. But I'll keep you updated. I'll let you know. What we got? Susan Hall is asking whether people are paid to demonstrate in the UK. Yes, they are. We know they are. We've seen them. We've seen them get bussed in and stuff like that. And I mean, it's one of these things where we know that the police bust them in and everything as well. So it's not just that they're being paid to protest; it's that it would appear that the police are in on it as well. The local councils and everything are in on it, and they're happy for these people to just protest and get out of hand as much as they like. But if you're right wing in Britain, you are going to get arrested at some point. If you protest in Britain for a right wing cause, you are going to get arrested at some point. And I believe the standard thing now is to ban you from going to marches. I mean, they got those powers. The police, they got those powers a little while ago, didn't they? Where they said, if you frequently misbehave at protests, then you will be banned from attending protests. Well, we all know that they'll look for any reason to say you've been misbehaving and then just ban you from protests. But they won't do that to the left. They'll do that to the right. And it's to diminish numbers and dissuade people that regularly protest for good causes. Just get rid of them, really. Just an excuse to lock them up, to arrest them every time they're at an event. It's disgusting, but it's common tactics. It's nothing new. It's nothing remarkable. It's just one of those things that they've gotten away with for so long that it is what it is. Come on. My netbook, what is it? Chromebook keeps disconnecting from the internet. I have no idea why it does that. Nothing else in my house does that. And I have very good internet speeds at my place. So if anyone knows anything about Chromebooks, just try and fill me in on why it does that. Why does it keep disconnecting? Please help. It's not the end of the world, is it? First world problems. Oh no, my Chromebook keeps disconnecting from the Wi-Fi. I think I should have done some more stories to my X account. They're the ones that I that I can just list off straight away without looking on any news websites. So I'll send. I think I did like 5 for this stream today. I'll try and do more for next time. I mean, nobody that follows me probably cares about the Man United Amorim. He's been sacked in less than 24 hours after explosive outburst. Let's have a look at this, actually. This sounds quite interesting. He had a explosive outburst against club hierarchy. Ruben Amorim has been sacked by Manchester United just 24 hours after the 40-year-old took aim at the club's hierarchy following the club's 1-1 draw with Leeds on Sunday. I've lost interest immediately. I only follow like local football. I think that the big Premiership games, I just don't trust them. I don't like them. I think there's way too much performance in there. For like, if anyone even touches them, they drop to the ground, they roll about on the floor. I'm so injured. Oh no. And I think when you go with the smaller games, the smaller clubs, the more local clubs, then you just get much more of an honest, good game than what you do with the bigger clubs. So I prefer smaller clubs football games than I do the bigger ones. I just think it gets to that point where it becomes less about the game and more about the money, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm one of those people that just cannot be bought. I wouldn't care how much was offered to me. I don't care what it was that they want me to do. If I don't stand by it, I won't fucking do it. And that's all there is to it. I genuinely want. I've got TikTok that have like asked if I want to start like selling clothes and stuff like that. No, I don't wear them myself. I don't know if the quality is good or anything like that, and so I don't care about them. I'm not going to sell people crap. So yeah, there you go. What's this? There is a Sadiq Khan style car ban to be introduced across major UK city in punishing new move. So again, punishing British motorists, set to come into force across a major region. Glasgow City Council is set to introduce sweeping restrictions on private vehicles in the city centre as part of a new People First Zone trial launching in early 2026. So if you live in Glasgow city centre, just be aware of that at some point during 2026, you are going to be penalised because of where you live, if you own a car, and likely you just won't be able to drive anymore because they'll put so many restrictions, so many costs on driving in that area that you just won't bother doing it. And it'll become one of these things. I mean, driving will become a luxury rather than a necessity. You know, like where I live, in the countryside, it's a necessity. It's not a luxury. Like I can't walk to like I'd go to the gym every day. I couldn't walk to my gym. It'd take me like 2-3 hours probably to walk there, and I wouldn't need it because by the time I've walked to the gym, I'll be knackered and I'll just be like, oh, I'll just go home again now. So yeah, it's one of these things where in the countryside anyway, walking is having a car is an absolute necessity. And I can understand in the city, it's a necessity as well for tradesmen at least. You know, I can understand. See, if Sadiq Khan, if the government said, we're banning use of private cars in city centres, but tradesmen can still drive about because they've got to get their tools and everything about. I would understand that. That's clearly for the benefit of air pollution and things like that. I can understand that. But what the government is doing is just a blanket ban, really, a blanket penalisation of everyone that wants to drive in the city. Which is, again, this is one of many reasons I don't live in cities. I lived in London for 1 year. Absolutely never again. I will not do it. No, I will never live in London again, or Manchester or Birmingham, anywhere like that. No, thank you. I won't do it. And neither should you. If you've never tried country life, you should absolutely try it. It's brilliant. It's so different to city life. You should absolutely give it a go. I think so. I've got 2 minutes left. I'm gonna have to wrap up because I want to keep this under an hour. If you've been listening from the start, if you've been watching from the start, thank you. I appreciate you. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. I believe tomorrow I'll be on my Oculus Quest, Meta Quest, on my other channel, doing some gaming reviewing of Arizona Sunshine. Great game on the VR headset. I'll be playing through that, doing kind of a walkthrough. So if that's something you're interested in, then I will see you tomorrow, same time on my other channel at 12:30. Thanks, everyone. I hope you've learned something today that you can carry into the future and really talking shit. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for watching and listening.